Let's start our session. First of all, let's pay homage to the Supreme Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today, we're going to start our Dhamma talk as we discussed before. So, so far we have discussed almost all the book about these Four Noble Truths. So today I think that we can finish our talk series. So today that we are supposed to talk about the qualities of the Noble Eightfold Path. So the page is 179. Let's see what is in the text. The four qualities of the Noble Eightfold Path. Maggassa niyyanatto, hetutto, dassanatto, adhipatiyatto. As enunciated thus in the Patisambhida Magga, the Noble Eightfold Path should be known as is expressed through the four qualities. The four qualities are Niyanattha, Hetuttha, Dassanattha, Adhipatiyattha. I think you all remember we discussed the other the noble truths. So each and every noble truth has had four qualities. So let's see what are these four qualities that is included in the noble path, eightfold path. The first one is Niyanattha. If in somebody's mind conflux arise one of the supramundane paths, the ejection of him from the samsaric ocean of suffering is the quality of Niyanattha. The supramundane paths, according to the way in which they are ascended, are four in number. So we know that only the Noble Eightfold Path can take someone from the samsaric journey to the supramundane states or the Lokuttara Bhumi. So simply Niyanattha means that you the Eightfold Path can take you to the supramundane states or it takes you across the samsaric state to the noble state. So that's the simple meaning of Niyanattha. I think you might have heard the Pali term Niyana, or in Sanskrit Nairyanika. This is the meaning of Nairyanika, that you the Eightfold Path can take you to the Nibbana from the samsaric state. So we know that there are four the supramundane paths, the path consciousness of Sotapanna, and the Sakadagami path consciousness, Anagami path consciousness, and Arahanta path consciousness, or the Magga Chittas. So these Magga Chittas have the ability to take you from the samsara to the supramundane states. The first supramundane path, Sotapatti, eradicates various heretical views, Michchaditti, and skeptical doubts with aspect of the doctrine of the Buddha. So also attainment of Sotapatti Magga banishes forever all defilements that make one born in any types of hellish existence. We all know that when Sotapanna path consciousness arises in one's mind complex or Chitta Santana, when we talk about the fetters, the Sanyojana, 3 Sanyojanas are eradicated. Sakkaya Ditti, the self-identity view, the Vichikicha, the doubts, Ilambata Paramasa. Yes. So these 3. So in ultimate sense, there are 2. Vichikicha means doubt, the self-identity view, and Silabbata Paramasa fall into the wrong view. So these 2 is completely eradicated when the Sotapatti path consciousness arises. And as I mentioned here, the ability to be born in the woeful places or the hells is also eradicated. There is no way someone who generate the path consciousness is to be born in those bad places. So he is free from those hellish places. In the way of rendering null and void all the evil karma in the past that tended towards a hellish type of existence, making one do not unwholesome deeds in the future, one is dragged into the further show of non-accumulator of evil karma. So when Sotapanna path consciousness arises, that in his mind there is no way to arise unwholesome karmas that has the ability to give a birth in the bad places or evil places. But we know that even still Sotapanna has some of the defilements, but he does not break the 5 precepts. One is also written to the further show in that the one is made a non-acquirer of the karma that makes one reborn repeatedly like a worldly person, and thus is made to cross the happily realm of samsaric existence as well. This is the way the attainer of Sotapatti is flown across the samsaric ocean. So I think we already have discussed even before how much suffering eradicates by a Sotapanna person who has generated these Sotapatti path consciousness. So that's what it explains here. Thus, when one is carried across the turbulent samsara from defilement and karmas, one reaches the supramundane ground of Sotapatti. The term ground here is meant not for a place but a state or position. The term ground bhumi is applied to one's spiritual position or standard, for instance, as Buddha bhumi, Shravaka, disciple bhumi, etc. To one who has ascended the supramundane noble ground of Sotapatti can spur on great joy and on account of his being released from the clutches of hellish existence. This in itself is a great relief for him. Even if he reborns in a pleasurable realm, he is far from being a heretic. He does not get rooted like a pillar in samsara. He does not commit unwholesome deeds. He is not swayed by the rushing tides of samsara. Day by day, he closes upon the oasis of Anupadisesa Nirvana. He does not, like his worldly colleagues, go further and further away from the oasis of Nirvana. The Sotapanna, even when born in happy Sugati realm, such as a human realm, does not get retrograded in terms of wealth, luxury, and the capacity of spiritual improvement. With the progress of time, he comes to associate himself in places of increased wealth, luxury, and spiritual vigor. One who has been born in Brahma realms after having developed jhanas or spiritual ecstasies will never ever come again to be born in Kama Loka, pleasure realms, human realm, and heavenly realms. He reborns in the same Brahma realm or in a realm higher than that. The one Sotapanna, so born, associating worldly pleasures, and when fed up, it is develop higher supramundane paths. Spurn the five khandhas, and ultimately reach Anupadisesa Nirvana. This is all the Niyanatta of the Sotapanna. One should likewise understand the Niyanatta of the higher supramundane paths of Sakurdagami, Anagami, and Arhat. So here explains what happened when you attain the Sotapanna level. So here it is being explained like Bhumi, Lokuttara Bhumi. And when we learn the Chittas, the consciousnesses in the Abhidhamma, there's a type of Chittas, the Lokuttara Chittas. And when we divide the places where beings get the rebirths, we call Kamavachara Bhumi, sensual realm, and Rupavachara Bhumi, and something like that. Here, the Lokuttara Bhumi does not mean a place, but the supramundane states or the Chittas are called Lokuttara Bhumi. And when someone attains the level of Sotapanna, he is assured in the spiritual path. So when we learn the qualities, the noble qualities of the Mahasangha, noble monks, it is included. Supatipanna, well entered to the spiritual path, and Ujjupatipanna, goes back. And like that, all the qualities you start from this level, the Sotapanna. As mentioned here, there's no way him to perform unwholesome activities, which has the ability to be born in bad places or the hells. He's free from them, and he's gradually develop the spiritual qualities to attain his higher attainments. And if he develop ecstasies or the jhanas, he'll be born in the Brahma realms, and he will not come back to the sensual realms, even though he is Sotapanna. He will not come back to the sensual realms. He will develop his the meditative skills there, and if he passes away there in one of the Brahma realms, he will go the above Brahma realms. But as we know that the Sotapannas have the maximum ability to get 7 rebirths, so when they get their rebirth in the sensual heavenly realms, they'll probably come back to the human realm. But there are no any instances or examples in the text as the Sotapanna's rebirths in human realm. But as we all know that there's a ability, there's a possibility of a person who attains this spiritual level, Sotapanna, and come back as a human as well. So here the Niyanatte means that these Noble Eightfold Path has the ability to attain the noble fruits, Sotapatti Phala, Sakadagami Phala, like that. So as we discussed, the Sotapanna person eradicates the defilements that has the ability to give rebirth in the bad places or the evil realms. Then he attains a second level, the Sakadagami. He further reduces the fetters or the defilements. We know that the Sakadagami, once returner, the noble person reduces more two fetters. They are Kamaraga and Patiga. Kamaraga means a sensual desire for sensual pleasures. And he reduces that, and the patiga, the hatred as well, he reduces for some certain level. Then if he's not, if he doesn't attain the further higher attainments, so he has the ability to come back to the human or this human realm only once. That's why it is called Sakadagami, once returner. Then the third spiritual stage, Anagami. In the Anagami level, he eradicates the remaining two fetters, Kamaraga Patiga, that he eradicates all without remaining. Then Anagami means that the Anagamis, non-returners, if they do not attain the Arahanthood, they can be born in the pure abodes. There are 5 Brahma realms called Suddhavasa Brahma worlds. So according to their order of development of the 5 faculties like Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Prajna, according to the development of those 5 the faculties, they get their rebirth in the pure abodes or the Suddhavasa Brahma realms. So they never come back to the sensual realms. That's why they are called non-returners. And they attain the Arahanthood in those Brahma realms, pure abodes. Then the Anagam, the Arahant level, we know that the remaining 5 more fetters, like the Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga, the desire for being born in the fine material realm, and the desire to be born in the immaterial realm, Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga, Mana, the conceit, the Uddacha, restlessness, and the Avijja, the ignorance is still remaining in the Arahant, the Anagamis. So these 5 fetters, they are called upper fetters, Uddam Bhagya Sanyojana. The first 5 called lower fetters, Oram Bhagya Sanyojana. So the Anagami attains the Arahanthood, then he eradicates those upper fetters, Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga, Mana, Uddacha, Avijja. Then he, that's how these noble, the paths take you to those, the noble or the supramundane states. That is why it is called the Niyanatta. These Noble Eightfold Path can take you to the those noble attainments. So we have to remember that, as we know, I think the Buddha clearly has explained in the Mahaparinibbana Sutra. The Noble Eightfold Path can be only found in the teachings of the Buddha. And he has explained like the first person can be found only in the Buddhist teachings, only in the Buddhist dispensation, Buddha Sasana. The second person, third person, and the fourth person as well. can be only found in the teaching, the Buddhist dispensation. The first person is the Sotapanna person. The second person is the Sakadagami, like that. And he clearly has explained the Sunya Parappavada. You cannot find any of these noble persons in any other religion or any other teachings. So only the Supreme Buddhas can teach these Noble Eightfold Path and help someone to attain these noble states. So that is the first quality of the Noble Eightfold Path, Niyanatta. Then the Hetutta, the second quality. Reaching Nirvana by destroying infectious agents on its path is Hetutta. If one is a Sotapanna, this imbues him with all the Arya and noble virtues, never ever to be disassociated from him. Even his disciplinary characteristics advances from day to day, month to month, year to year, and life to life, and also gets stabilized or established. So also improves establishes his various meditative concentrations. A similar fate is shared by his wisdom as well. Still, so also would stabilize and improve the four foundations of mindfulness. The Sammapadhana is a fourfold effort to stop the growth of sin and the development of good. Iddhipada, the four foundations of psychic powers. Indriyas, the five seats of psychical growth. Indriyas, the five faculties. The Bala, the five psychical powers which lead to Nibbana. Bojjhanga, the sevenfold attributes of enlightenment. And the higher supramundane paths. As when such wholesome merit develops, the noble person comes closer and closer to Anupadisesa Nibbana. As Sotapatti is a basis for such assemblage of merit, it is as well a reason for reaching Nirvana. Meritoriousness and ability to reach Nirvana are benefits conferred on the Sotapanna as a consequence of Hetutta, of Sotapatti. Hetutta of higher supramundane paths should be known likewise. So, Hetutta means that when the noble person attains these, the noble attainments, then the defilements is eradicated. Without eradicating the defilements, or as I mentioned before, as fetters, no one can attain the noble attainments. So the noble eightfold path or the eight factors have the ability to eradicate the defilements. Then only can attain Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and so forth and so on. So the Hetutta means the making conditions, necessary conditions by eradicating defilements to attain the higher spiritual attainments. So when someone attains the first spiritual attainment, the Sotapanna, as we know, he gets the assurance in the Buddhist spiritual path. There's no way to coming back to the worldly states or the backward. He definitely go forward in the Buddhist spiritual path. No matter how long it takes, he develops the necessary conditions, necessary virtues, and these the enlightenment factors, the Bodhipakkhya Dhamma, as he get the assurance in the first spiritual attainment as Sotapanna. So this is the hetutta, simply the ability to eradicate the defilements, making the necessary ground, necessary conditions to attain the supreme attainments. Then the Dassanatta, the third quality of the Noble Eightfold Path or the Noble Eightfold Factors. The supramundane path is made primarily of wisdom. Thereat the meditator or yogin sees or experiences nirvana or the Four Noble Truths empirical in a way unprecedented or in a way never seen before. This nature of empirically seeing nirvana or the Four Noble Truths is the quality of Dassanatta. For however long the Sotapanna may wander in the samsara amidst worldly pleasures, he shall never ever forget what he saw empirically. Nirvana example. If he is to reminisce Aryan truths after several eons of time, he is going to recognize them immediately, just as sun, moon, and other starry objects are going to be instantly visible for one who looks up after looking down for quite a while. It is a benefit conferred on the Sotapanna in consequence of the quality of Dasanatta inherent in Sotapatti. Likewise should be known the Dasanatta of higher supramundane paths. So as we discussed so far, and we all know that the supramundane path consciousness and the fruit consciousnesses, Marga Chitta and Phala Chitta, has the ability to experience the nirvana. So these the ultimate realities and the noble, the supramundane chitta and the path consciousness appear having the object or taking the object, the nirvana, the first time. So the Sotapanna, attainment of the Sotapanna is the first time someone experiences the nirvana by himself. Before that, there's no way to experience the nirvana. Then in the second attainment, the Sakadagami level, he experiences it even more. Then the third attainments, he still experience the nirvana by himself. And the fourth level, Arahanthood, in the Arahant path chittas and the Phala chitta, so the fruit chitta consciousnesses that he experiences the nirvana. So only those the eight the noble chittas or the supramundane chittas that he attains or experiences the nirvana, unless he attains the higher meditative states like Nirodha Samapatti or something like that. So I found some examples from another book. I'll just briefly explain how these nobles experience the nirvana. So the firstly, the Sotapanna. It says that he experienced the nirvana like when we experience something, when we see something while lightning. You know that when sometimes in the night, when lightning happens, so we can see surroundings quite well. So that's how the Sotapanna person or the one who attains the Sotapanna path experiences the nirvana. Then The Sakadagami noble person experiences the nirvana, like in the dark room when oil lamp is lit, so he can see the surroundings quite well. Like that, the Sakadagami person experiences the nirvana by himself. And then the Anagami person, the third, who attains the third spiritual attainment, he experiences like in the full moon day, in the night, how he see the things. The full moon day night, full moon night, he can see the things quite well. Like that, so the Anagami person can experiences the nirvana, see the noble reality of nirvana. Then the Arahanta, it says, experience the nirvana as the bright daylight, how he experienced the thing. Like that, these noble attainments or the noble consciousnesses can experience the nirvana um, by practicing these or the developing these noble eightfold factors. So this is the dasanata. So these noble paths have these three qualities as we discussed so far. The niyanatta, ability to take you across from the samsara to the nirvana. Then hetutta, the noble eightfold path or the eight factors have the ability to destroy the fetters or the defilements. Then the dasanatta, it can make you experience the nirvana. Then adipatayatta, the mind current of the one who has attained to supramundane path is its own master and is not ruled by craving, as in the case of the mind current of the worldly one. Here the mind current means the chitta santatiya, the mind stream, that we know our mind appears as a stream one after one. So that's what it is called, mind current or the chitta santati in the Pali. So what he explained is until one gain these noble, the supramundane consciousnesses, what happens to the noble person is his mind current or the chitta santati is dominated by the craving current of the worldly one. This is adipatayatta. Adipatayatta means subjugating something and making it in tune of oneself. The supramundane path causes the mind to be controllable and makes it to be the master of itself without allowing it to be carried away by sense objects of craving. So as I mentioned before, the worldly person is always controlled or dominated by the craving. But this one who has attained these noble attainments is no more is dominated by the craving. He is under control, the craving, as he attained the noble attainments. The worldly mind is totally distracted and carried away by the dominant force of craving. Therefore, the worldly person performs meritorious deeds with an eye to acquiring samsaric pleasures. Once Sotapatti Magga is attained, craving is incapacitated in its role as the monarch of the mind current. At this instant, its paraphernalic defilements are also dethroned from their elitist positions. The supramundane path itself becomes the emperor of the craving, liberated Sotapatti mind current. Therefore, Sotapanna does not indulge in any unwholesome actions that betakes him to subhuman existence. He performs meritorious actions in order to curtail existence, not to prolong it, and for the sake of complete liberation, moksha. So, until someone attains the Sotapanna level, he's not freed from the craving. Then the noble, the worldly person's mind is always, most of the time, as says here, is dominated by craving and other defilements. But one who attains the Sotapanna level, he is assured he's no more dominated by the craving and other defilements. He is the noble chittas or the noble path. Attaining those noble path or the chittas, he is dominated by the chitta, the wholesome chittas. And he performed meritorious deeds without having any inclination to have the sensual pleasures. As normal worldly people, they most of the time when they perform meritorious deeds, even though they don't wish, still they have the craving to live more. So the noble ones, they don't have that sort of feelings, so they perform meritorious deeds solely or for the sake of complete liberation. Thus, his meritorious actions, free from the yoke of craving, becomes more refined, not indulging in any action that fructifies in a subhuman existence, not performing any meritorious actions to prolong existence, not forsaking the triple gem, and not soliciting the help of any other personage, that the Buddha are some of the benefits acquired to the Sotapanna as a consequence of the quality of Adipateyatya. Likewise should be known the Adipateyatya of the higher supramundane paths. So as I explained, when someone attains the very first, the spiritual attainments, Sotapanna, he is no more a slave for the craving and other the defilements. He has a full control of his mind not to fall into the unwholesome actions, and he can remain without breaking precepts, 5 precepts, and other unwholesome actions. As to find what the path of true liberation, a path should be evaluated in terms of the aforementioned 4 qualities. If in something there is niyanatte, the quality of delivering one to the further shore from the ocean of samsara, hetutte, the quality of causing one to attain nirvana, dassanatte, the quality of experiencingly seeing nirvana, or the experience of the nirvana. Adipateyata, the quality of mind superseding transcendently over the base and wild defilements of the worldly mind, that is the true path of liberation. These 4 qualities are undoubtedly present in the Noble Eightfold Path. And these very qualities are found in none other. Therefore, the Blessed One proclaimed the Noble Eightfold Path, comprising of right understanding, etc., as we've discussed before, as the surest way leading to the cessation of suffering, dukkha nirodha gamini patipada satte. So these are the 4 qualities of the Noble Eightfold Path. So the first quality is Niyanatte. The Eightfold Path can take you to the Nirvana or the deliver you to the Nirvana from the samsaric suffering. Or in Pali or the Sanskrit, we call Nairanika. I think you heard that Nairanika Sri Saddharma. So the teachings of the Buddha have the ability to take you to the Nirvana. So that's what it simply means. Then the Hetutta means makes the necessary conditions. The Eight Noble Path makes the necessary condition by eradicating the defilements or making the necessary condition to attain the Nirvana. And then the Dasanatta, one who experiences the Nirvana by himself, by attaining the spiritual attainments using these Noble Eightfold Path. Then Adhipateyatta means one who attains these higher spiritual attainments, the Eightfold Path or the Eightfold Factors have the upper hand or the control. No more is dominated by the defilements. So these are the 4 qualities. So these 4 qualities, if you can find in somewhere, this is you can find only in the Noble Eightfold Path, no in any other place that you can find these qualities. So this is the 4 qualities in the Nirvana, or the Eightfold Path, or the 4th Noble Truth. So I think to stop here, from here the discussion. Here there are some more explanation. So I'm not going to explain them. You can read it. There's a two type of explanation about the Arya Satya. So you can read it, and it's not quite complicated. So anything to be discussed here about what we've discussed today?
Bante, when the text says that experiencing nirvana is my understanding of nirvana is it's not something physical or mental. It is simply the cessation of the chittaviti at some particular point. So how would one experience such event?
Yes, well, I think that we discussed about in the Abhidhamma class, there are 4 ultimate realities, right?
Mm.
In the 4 ultimate realities, there is something called nirvana, right? So nirvana is not something merely cessation of mind current or something like that. Nirvana is something ultimate reality which exists without any condition. So yes, someone may question where it exists.
Yeah, to experience something, because the word experience references our sort of the animal world, how the animals comprehend physical objects or mental objects. But
Yeah,
nirvana
here
is the absence of all of that, Bhante.
no, nirvana is not something absence. Nirvana means you experience with we know that how we come to know about things in simply, like when we see something we experience it. But here we experience the nirvana with the noble or the supramundane chittas like sotapatti magga chitta. Sotapatti Maggacitta has the ability to object, take the nirvana as object.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sotapatti Palacitta also has that ability. So then there's no any other way to experience nirvana. And we have to remember that it's not merely, cessation of mind current or of nirvana or something like that. There is something called ultimate reality. There is some ultimate reality of nirvana. So that nirvana that we experience when we develop the noble chittas.
So does that imply, Bhante, that someone who attains nirvana continues to experience nirvana? Is it ongoing? It's not ongoing.
No. He experienced only when he attained the path consciousness. Then he experienced the fruit consciousness, the palachitta. In the four these noble attainments he experiences, then he can attain some meditative experience like samapatti, like the nirodha samapatti. Like that, there is some other samapatti, I can't remember the exact word, when he attains that samapatti, he experiences the nibbanic bliss.
Right.
Then when the noble person does some other things, he does not experience nirvana. But since he is free from the defilements, he's free from those the suffering from the defilements.
So then is it correct, Bhante, to understand that when the final life ceases, the experience of the ability to experience nirvana also ceases with that life?
Yes, we can say it like that, yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. And we have to remember that there is something called ultimate reality, nirvana.
But it can be only experienced by those who are in the stream.
Yes, who attains those higher spiritual attainments. Otherwise, that we can learn by these books and teachings from the Buddha, but it's just some assumptions that we learn from. But
the experience comes only in those stages.
Exactly.
Thank you, Bhante.
It's okay. Any other questions or suggestions you can give here? If not, we can revise what we have been discussing these lecture series in simply. So we have discussed these each noble truths have four qualities. So the first, the noble truth of suffering has four qualities that we have to learn them, and we discuss, and we have to highlight them, and we have to remember them, remind them again and again to improve our understanding about these noble truths. So the first noble truth, the understanding, the noble truth of suffering, make easy to when you have the understanding about the four qualities, the Pilana, Sankata, Santapa, and Viparinama. The Pilana means the nature of the suffering. The beings, the nature is the suffering. As we've discussed, Sankiccena Panchupadana Kanda Dukkha, briefly, the five aggregates is itself suffering. So the aggregates has the nature of suffering. Then the Sankata means there is condition to, there are conditions to arise these aggregates. And we have to make necessary conditions, as we've discussed, in order to be a human. You cannot be a human without doing meritorious deeds. You can't be a divine being without doing meritorious deeds. So performing meritorious deeds is quite difficult for worldly people. And even being a human, after being human, you have to make a living and making necessary conditions to survive. So that is called sankata. It's also a suffering. Then the santapa, it's simply like burning nature because of the defilements. Beings have to suffer because of the defilements and going to being born in the bad places, for example, like animal realm or other the hellish realms. So the beings have to face enormous suffering. That's called santapa nature. Then the viparinama. Viparinama nature means there is no permanent existence in even higher Brahma realms. For humans and any existence, it is subjected to the changing nature. They have to die or pass away wherever they are. So these four qualities varies according to where they get their birth. So these four are the qualities of the first noble truth, the noble truth of the suffering. Then the second noble truth, the origin of suffering, the noble truth of origin of the suffering is, as we discussed, the craving. So the craving or the trishna has also four qualities: ayuhana, nidana, sanyoga, and palibodha. Ayuhana means the suffering or rebirth creates again and again because of this craving. So the worldly sorry, the worldly beings are dominated by the craving, as we discussed moments before. So the craving is the root cause to create or give you the recurrent birth and death. So that is called ayuhana. Then the nidana. Nidana means simply the root cause. So it is the root cause for the rebirth and the death and simply the samsara. Then the sanyoga. The craving has the ability to attach you to the sensual pleasures and to the samsara, simply. So the sanyoga, I think we've discussed one of the sutras as well in briefly, Bandhana Sutra, which shows us the nature of clinging nature of the sensual pleasures or the craving. Then the palibodha. Palibodha means how beings face difficulties because of this craving, and how craving and all the other defilements creates the difficulties and the problems for the beings. Then the Nirodha, or the third noble truth, the cessation of suffering. So it also has four qualities: Nissarana, Viveka, Asankata, and the Nissarana means escape from the suffering. And Viveka means you are free from the defilements. Because of free of defilements, you can enjoy, experience the nirvana. Then the asankata, when you attain nirvana, or in simply nirvana, there is no, we don't have to make conditions to maintain nirvana. As we discussed before, there's no way coming back when you attain nirvana. So asankata, without conditions, so there is no need to make any conditions to maintain. Then the amata, amata simply means the deathless, or there's no any changing nature in the nirvana. As we discussed before, the nirvana is one of the ultimate realities, and it is there without any conditions. Then, so the last one, the noble path of the fourth noble truth that we discuss today. So it is also it also has four qualities like nirvana, niyana, hetu, dasana, and adipati. Niyana means the Noble Eightfold Path take you to the nirvana or go across the samsara. Then hetu, the Noble Eightfold Path makes the necessary conditions by eradicating the defilements. Then the dasana, the Noble Eightfold Path, can experience, make you experience the nirvana in the four successive stages. Then the adhipati, these noble consciousnesses, when you attain them, you are no more dominated by the craving and any other defilements. So these are the four qualities of the fourth noble truth. So yes, it is. We know that it's not quite easy to understand these noble truths, especially in another language. But still, when you learn these noble teachings, as we've discussed before, it improves your understanding, and this is not go in vain, especially when we learn these teachings in another language. It develops something called Patisambhida Jnana as well, the analytical knowledge. I think you know there are four analytical knowledge called Artha Dharma Nirukti Patibhana. When you learn more languages, you can develop that as well. So, and you can be so happy as well to be able to join these talk series throughout. And I appreciate that your dedication to learn these noble teachings. And I also tried my best to teach you in my capacity. And let's start a new talk series. I think you already know that I intend to discuss about the factors of enlightenment, and we'll see how it goes. And if not, that I can discuss some of the sutras in the Sutra Pitaka, maybe Samyutta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, that we can discuss some of the sutras. So anything to discuss more, or otherwise we can wind up our session here.
Bhante, much merit to you for guiding us and encouraging us to follow the Dhamma and the Four Noble Truths through this series of lectures. So our utmost gratitude and merits to you, Bhante.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be able to, have this sort of discussions. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Bante. Much merit to you.
It's
Yes,
all right.
it was a
So,
real encouragement. Yes, I
yes,
was looking forward to this
it's
every
all
week.
right. Yeah, thank you. It's appreciated. Okay, then.
Avasrai Bhante, may you have lots of merits for your
Thank,
time, effort, and energy. Really, really appreciate
thank you.
what
Thank you so
I've
much.
learned. And Bhante, may I ask you a question?
Yes, of
Are
course.
we going to get a book on the air of the factors of enlightenment, the next series?
Yeah, the thing is that I have only one hard copy.
Right, Bhante.
Yes,
That's the English translation,
yeah,
is it,
English
Bhante?
translation. I think, are you in our WhatsApp group?
No, Bhante, no.
If you like that, I can add you to our WhatsApp group and we update there.
This will be starting on the 13th.
Yes, 13th,
Right. Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to
Yeah, I
whether
got the
we.
Sinhala version, Bhante, but I don't
Yes,
have the English one.
yes, I am thinking to like not to do the discussion like this because I just
Okay,
simply
Bhante.
read the book in this discussion series.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Okay, Bhante.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
It's all right. And give me your suggestions as well. I think then we can improve our sessions, how we should be conducted.
Okay,
But
Bhante.
one thought with that is, personally, I struggle trying to translate what we learn into my everyday life because while we are studying, our mind is focused and I do learn a few things, but the challenge is whether enough of it is translating in how I live on a day-to-day basis. And perhaps, Bante, in the next one, because we'll be talking of a variety of
Enlightenment
subjects or
factors.
topics, it would be good to look at each one of them, how it works in our day-to-day life, and how we can be conscious of when one of those aspects arise in our day-to-day life. That would be very useful, Bante. Thank
Yes, yes. Let's keep doing this. I mean, this is a gradual process,
you. Yes.
and this is very deep teaching as well. So, so my advice is do not give up. Yes, sometimes we feel like this is not enough, something like that, but don't give up. Just keep doing this because just even if you don't put into your day-to-day life, I mean, it's not in vain what you learn. You will understand when you do this for some time, how your attitudes and how your behaviors and how you all these change, and it takes some time as my understanding.
Yes, Bante.
Okay, all right then, let's wind up our session here. So today and so far that having discussing these noble teachings of the Buddha, all of us generated enormous amounts of wholesome thoughts in our hearts. So let's let's share these merits to our departed ones. May all our relatives who have passed away accept these merits and may happy, well and prosperous. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. And let's transfer merits to the divine beings as well. Itthavata cha amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Itthavata cha amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu Sabba sampatti siddhya ittavatacha amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. May all these meritorious deeds that we generated so far lead us to supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu. Teruan Sarnai Bante.
Teruvan Saranam.